President, from the White House.
A very short hit, and a hit on ISIS, but it didn't work out that way. They never left, and they've been there for many, many years. And we were down to very few soldiers in Syria. We had 50 in the region that you're talking about, 50 soldiers, and they've been already moved out. But we'll see what happens with respect to a lot of different things. We've told Turkey, I spoke with President Erdogan of Turkey, and I said, got to treat them good. You got to take care of ISIS. Don't forget, we defeated this group largely, defeated ISIS, 100% of the caliphate, 100%. And we wanted to do 100%. I was going to do this 9 months ago, and we were not at 100%, but we were pretty close. Everyone said, can we get to 100%? Now I get to 100%, and they say, well, maybe we could stay longer. I say, well, when do we get out? There's got to be a time we get out. We have to bring our people back home. And frankly, our great soldiers, I've been talking about this on the campaign. You go back 3 years ago and more, and you watch the speeches. We want to bring our soldiers back home. These are the endless wars. And we're not fighting, we're policing to a large extent. We're policing in certain areas. We're not police, these are fighters, great fighters, the greatest in the world, and that's what they do. So I've told President Erdogan, I hope he's going to treat everybody with great respect. You have to understand, they've been fighting various of the people that we were working with, and Turkey's been fighting them for many years. Somebody said hundreds of years. You had just mentioned to me yesterday, 200 years, maybe more. At some point, we have to bring our people back home, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Is it a firm decision, sir?
It's always a firm decision. Last time I made a firm decision, and I said we'll do it over a period of time. And we've been doing this actually over a period of time, over a very long period of time. And we've been working with the people in this room, and our soldiers have been coming back over that period of time. I think that one of the very big factors when we defeated ISIS, we have thousands right now of ISIS fighters and families. We have family members, wives, children, and many of them come out of Europe. They come out of Germany, they come out of France and other countries of Europe. And I told them, you have to take these people back. You have to take them back, give them trials, do whatever you have to do. And they said, no, we don't want to do that. I said, well, you have to do that. That's not fair to the American taxpayer. It's not fair to America. It's not fair to the United States not to do that. But they chose not to do it. I said, again, you got to take them back. We can't take care of 60, 70,000 people. And we're not going to move the fighters to Guantanamo Bay and take care of them for many, many years into the future. It's not for us. We did you a great service, a great favor. We defeated the caliphate 100%. Now it's time for Germany and France and all of the nations where they came from to take them back. And they chose no. And maybe they'll change. Maybe they're going to change their tune now. I don't know. But in the meantime, we'll have to rely on the European nations. We'll have to rely on various other nations. As an example, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Russia, and some other nations to take care of these fighters. But the American taxpayer is not going to spend 50 years of paying tax or whatever it may be that they're wherever they may be. For instance, Guantanamo, or for instance, prisons in the United States. The American taxpayer won't put up with that.
Mr. President, are you concerned what the second whistleblower may reveal about your conversation?
Not at all, because the call was a perfect call. You had stenographers, you had people that took it down exactly. It was a perfect call. It's just a scam. This is a scam by the Democrats to try and win an election that they're not going to win in 2020. All you have to do is take a look at the polls, see what happened. One poll had me up 12 points, 16 points, or 17 points. We just take a look at what's going on. The people understand it's a scam. They're trying to win an election in 2020 by using impeachment. If you look at that call, it's a perfect call. It's congenial. There was no pressure. And what did the head of Ukraine say? Did he say there was no pressure? Did his person say, his top representative, his foreign minister say, there was no pressure whatsoever? There was no pressure put on him. This is a scam. This is one of the greatest scams. We beat you we won on the Mueller scam. That was a whole big deal that lasted for 2.5 years. We had a few days of peace, and then all of a sudden they came up with this one. But I guess it's just part of my life. This is the most ridiculous thing many people have ever seen. All you have to do is read All you have to do is read what they wrote down, the stenographers. They wrote down an exact call. Now, what happened is Adam Schiff, went up before Congress and he read the most horrible speech, attributed the speech to me. These people won't believe this one. If you went to Annapolis, West Point, or the Air Force Academy, you're not going to believe this one happened. He went up and he took a speech. He made it up. It was horrible. And he said, the President of the United States said this on the call. It's a fraud. He really, I mean, it's a fraudulent speech. What he did is incredible. And it shouldn't be allowed. And I don't think it's going to be allowed. I think a lot of things are happening. By the way, Nancy Pelosi knew it was a fraud, and she didn't say anything about it. But if you look at the call, you just take a look at that call. That call is a terrific call. It's congenial. There was no pressure. There was no anything. And you know it, and so do I, and so does everybody else, and that's why the polls are doing well. That's why I don't bring up fundraising, but that's why I believe in the history of the Republican Party at this time. They've never had anything like the numbers that have been raised. They raised $13 million in many small donations in a 24-hour period. That hasn't even happened. So people understand that it's a fraud, it's a scam, it's a witch hunt. And all we do is just keep fighting for the American people, because that's all I do. We win, our economy is doing great, our jobs numbers are the best they've ever been, just about the best they've ever been for many groups, African Americans, Asians, Hispanics. They're the best they've ever been in the history of our country. And overall, they're the best numbers in 51 years. So we're doing great things, and we're going to keep going. Thank you very much. We're going to have a terrific day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.